The last stop on our tour takes us close to Swansea, to the village of Mumbles and its 12th century Oystermouth Castle. As one might expect from a place called Mumbles, it's a very special little village. You'll want to spend some time here, and you'll want to spend even more time up on the Gower Peninsula at Pennard Golf Club. This is one of the most spectacular courses you could ever hope to find, a place to savour for those with a soul for the game. Pennard is another James Braid classic links dating back to 1896 and famous for its exceptional links turf, playing fast and firm in the summertime. Pennard is also known for the old ruins of Pennard Castle, seen here popping up behind the 8th green. It's a somewhat haunting backdrop that makes the golf even more atmospheric. The castle may be a bit pedestrian to some of the locals, but it's so unique and so distinctive of the club that its outline is also used as the Pennard Club logo. That alone should justify a visit to the pro shop for a souvenir. Pennard has long enjoyed a reputation as one of golf's hidden treasures, but renowned modern architect Tom Doak let the proverbial cat out of the bag. He called Pennard one of his all-time favourites and said that the site was one of the most spectacular he had ever seen on which to build a golf course. And who could possibly disagree? It's unlikely you will ever lay eyes on another piece of property similar to this one, which is not unlike some of our modern golfing classics being built in the sandhills of Nebraska. The rolling, tumbling hills and valleys make for some very thrilling golf. Pennard is a relic from a distant era that somehow has escaped mass discovery. The club plays host to perhaps one overseas group per week, which may be one more a week than they had last year. No worries then when you drive right over the previous green. The chances are nobody's there. The locals have the right-of-way on the public footpath, some of which will cross right over your fairway. The bunkers here look like they were dug out by the sheep, and there is a great deal of livestock around. They provide you with some company when you're looking for your golf ball. Because of an ancient land deed, livestock are allowed to graze here, but that means the club fights a constant battle to prevent course damage. It's a battle they take seriously, although not many holes still have barbed wire around the greens, like here at the second. This postage stamp-like par 3 is just a short iron, but to a tiny target. Not easy to hit, but a lot of fun and an enjoyable start to the round. The green is nestled among some small but tricky dunes, and watch out for that minuscule bunker fronting the left-hand side. Thankfully, there's no need to climb over the barbed wire. The club has provided a narrow opening. The views start on the 3rd, where it becomes clear that you're high above Three Cliffs and Oxwich Bays. The sea is a half-mile away, yet the view of it is as clear as can be. By the time you reach the 6th, you know this course and its setting are simply magical. Down in the valley below, far beneath Pennard Castle, where the fresh waters of Pennard Pill empty into Three Cliffs Bay, the people are mere specks. The 7th hole is named Castle, and it is Pennard's signature hole. Running straight towards the bay along the Pennard Castle ruins, you can now be sure that you're playing the highest true links, more than 200 feet above the shore. This remarkable castle ruin right of the fairway dates back to the 1100s, and it's easy to take a walk over to it. It's definitely worth a look. Though much has long been lost, some of it is still intact. Legend says it was the castle of a mighty warrior who lost it in a mountain of sand as punishment for driving away a group of Irish fairies, dancing to the music of little harps. And certainly it's true that the castle was lost to blowing sand, but folklore claims a mountain of sand was removed from Ireland that same night to bury the castle. But what really happened remains a mystery. The site of the castle is dramatic, perched on the edge of the Pennard Pill Valley, with a sharp drop-off and a sweeping view out to Three Cliffs Bay. You could stand here for hours and marvel in the view, unlike any you will ever see adjacent to a links golf course. But you must get back to the 7th hole. After the 7th, you've arrived at Pennard's 8th, named Church. It's easy to understand why, because it's claimed only the hand of God could have created such a beauty. It's a medium-length par 4 full of the tricky humps and hollows that are so characteristic of Pennard. Though the front nine is superb, the meat of the course really begins on the par 4 10th, crossing over one of golf's great valleys. The par 3 11th crosses right back to a green perched in the other side of the hill, and beware of overswinging on the drivable par 4 12th, a dangerous proposition. If this stretch wears you out, the cavalry could be on the way. Coming out of the valley is both a sight and a sound you surely would never have seen or heard on a golf course. Are those wild horses galloping up the fairway? Links golf meeting the Old West? It's amazing. Needless to say, it's hard to keep your concentration on the golf. The mind goes back and forth, navigating the tricky undulations, marvelling in the magnificent setting, negotiating the subtle slopes, and all the while wondering how it is possible that you've never seen a single photograph of Pennard. The course really springs to life on a nice summer evening. As the sun goes down, the shadows come out. Golden hour indeed. And as this view from behind the 13th will attest, Pennard is surely the most beautiful unphotographed course around. The home stretch gets even more memorable. The 14th is called Braids. He always picked out his favourite hole in his designs. Here there's seemingly nowhere to hit it. The 16th heads back towards the sea with a hogback fairway that runs away from the golfer past the directional pole. Precision here is a must, but it's almost impossible to hold the fairway with a driver. Next comes the 17th, which can only be described as step by step. The tee on this par 5 is high above the beach. The blind drive is aimed over yet another direction pole. And then, once you reach the fairway, there's a choice to be made on this serpentine hole. Take the daring and risky straight line, or lay up to the right. Once you've hit, ring the obligatory bell next to the fairway so that the group behind knows it's safe to play. The 17th is the start of an appropriate climax to a round of golf unlike any other. The 18th hole is narrow, but straight away as the crow flies, and relatively straightforward compared to the previous holes on the back nine. Then head straight to the clubhouse and have a drink with the members, out enjoying the view. It's easy to understand why they love it so. We hope you are duly inspired to take a visit to Pennard, because a trip to Wales is incomplete without it. You'll be a sadder person if in a lifetime of golf you haven't played here. It really is well worth the journey.